Welcome to Mindfully Integrative Podcast with your host, Dr. Damaris G. Mindfully Integrative is a podcast discussing ways toward mindfully incorporating integrative health into our lives. This podcast will have informative resources, fun topics, interviews, and discussions relatable for today with a true mindful perspective in a mind-body, holistic life approach.
Hi, how are you? This is Dr. Damaris Marianne Grossman, and this is the Mindfully Integrative Show. And today we have a wonderful mindful chat with Bracha Goat. Yes, sorry about that. And she's here to talk to you about her journey in the integrative health space and just her life. And I can't wait for you guys to meet her. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, I want you to discuss more about yourself, and I'll have more information about you, but let's chat.
Okay, great. I'm the author of 40, I call them books that help children's souls to shine.
I love children. I love children's books. I'm trying to write one myself.
Wonderful. Let me tell you then, I tell people that it takes 20 years and 20 minutes to write a children's book. For 20 years, I meet people that carry around the idea for a children's book in their head for 20 years. It just takes 20 minutes to get that first draft down on paper, and then you're about to send it out into the world. You do a little editing and it's done. You don't have to carry it around for 20 more years.
Oh my God, that's good to know. Yeah, I have one. I have one with pretty much the series of my mindfulness group. But yeah,
wonderful. That's so needed. Mindfulness for children. That is fantastic. So yeah, my books are, well, they also have to do with public health. A lot of the books, like my newest book is Let's Stay Healthy and Let's Swim Safely.
I have books.
Yeah.
So you've written 40 kids books? I didn't realize it was that many.
Yeah, 40 children's books and one book for adults. So I have books about the prevention of abuse. I have books about teaching children about disabilities so they can interact more effectively, but I consider them all books that help children's souls to shine, even the one about public health, even the ones about like this one, Hashem's Candy Store, is about how amazing our fruits and vegetables are. It's just like,
oh my God. Yeah. That is so important. I didn't realize you wrote one on book. So I was just talking to one of my colleagues. She's going to be speaking at the White House and in September. And her name is Shante Jones, and she is going to be talking about health, nutrition, and yoga. We're talking about mindfulness too. So we were just discussing how to, grow that.
Exactly.
And how, I was just telling her, I wish more children, myself included, I have little ones, fruits and vegetables should be a normal conversation in a family.
Yes.
And I have my little ones go to daycare. I know it's not, but you're talking about this book. I'm saying is that I always make myself lunch. So it's a big part of how I feel. It's medicine, right? So I wish it was talked about. Why are parents not making it a priority?
Right. Exactly. And, I took it from,
there
was this thing going around the web called, I think it was called God's Pharmacy or something. So I just made this, I took all the information about it and if you, where's that picture? If you slice a carrot, what do you see inside the carrot? You see little eyes. It helps you to see better. It's amazing. Like a walnut, it looks like a little brain. It's incredible. There are actually directions on the food. Celery, it looks like our bones. Tomatoes, our hearts. It's particularly good for certain organs. It's a kind of a fun thing to do, but the fruits and vegetables are so wondrous. One of my favorite things to talk about is an orange, because an orange, for instance, most fruit, they're green because they're camouflaged in with the leaves until they're bright, and then they're ready. They're calling you, we're ready. So that's how they become bright and ready. And then, it's made for a delight for all our senses. It smells beautiful. It looks beautiful. It tastes so juicy, and it's got the peel that keeps the juiciness in for months. And then inside are the seeds of infinity. It goes on to create trees and infinite amounts of more oranges. So I contrast that with an orange flavored tangy taffy. It doesn't do anything good for us or the environment. It comes with a wrapper that it pollutes the environment as opposed to the orange peel, which helps.
It's biodegradable. You could put it out in the soil.
Exactly. It's a totally different entity. What I learned is that the junk food is actually more similar to cigarettes or cocaine, has more in common than it does with a fruit or an apple. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
100%. We talk about that in a whole diabetes months and just sugar in general and the nutrition, it is equivalent to, unfortunately, drug addiction.
Yeah.
Because of what it does to the receptors of the brain. Yeah.
Exactly. Like enormous amounts of fat and sugar and salt that are never found in nature. In nature,
never. And I'm so glad you've written books on, the public health and the healthy section, but I just literally had this conversation this morning about, I had to just tell the people that I go, no, I cut his food up. No, I make him prep his food because you don't provide enough fruits and vegetables for my son. Not mad at you. This is just what I'm doing.
Yes.
Parents are doing. I can't tell them what to do.
Right. But this is the public education that needs to be spread so much. And, when we instill these skills in young children, then we don't have to play catch up the rest of our lives from the beginning.
Right. So they have the conversation and the foundation is there. Then they can make that decision a little bit, right? Do I have a candy bar or can I get an orange? Okay.
Exactly.
And then once in a while, they'll understand, all right, you need moderation, but majority of the time, please pick the better option.
Yeah, they get the choice. We need the education because there's so much influence in the other direction, to eat the junk and to, it's so colorful, but really these fruits and vegetables are also designed to be colorful. That's what I'm trying to let people know about. Yeah.
I think that's excellent. I know that talking about this, I've literally had another individual saying that so in places where people are like, oh, I don't have a farm, I don't have access to great fruits and vegetables, they're not organic. I'm like, I just want you to start eating fruits and vegetables. I don't care if they're frozen. I don't care if they're frozen, what have you. Please just not sitting in sugar. I'd like you to just fry something.
Yeah. The more we take care of our immune system, the more it takes care of us. It just helps us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity to be mindful, because how much gratitude can you have? Mindfully eat the bag of potato chips, but when you eat an orange, oh my gosh, there's such an opportunity for mindful gratitude in these natural foods. It's an incredible experience when you really experience them mindfully and you linger longer, you savor the flavor, and it becomes both, it nourishes you both physically and spiritually. Yeah.
Yes, definitely does. So let's chat more. Like I always say, a quick fun fact about you. People may not know.
Oh, okay. The fun fact about me is that I'm invisible. So you may not think that, right? No, but the real me is invisible. Now, I have one of my books is the Invisible Book. It's about all the things that we believe in that are invisible. Okay, like the wind, like time, like feelings, like thoughts, like gravity, totally invisible. I let go and the book just drops. There's this invisible force. We see the effects of all these invisible forces in our lives, and yet we can dismiss that we too are invisibly spiritual beings. That's what we are. So we we too, we see the effects that we have in this world, but in essence, at our core, we are invisible. That's the real me. That's the real you. And this is just clothing, but we have to take good care of the clothing. Also, that we have to take good care of our bodies because we're in this physical world for a limited amount of time. But in truth, the fun fact about me is that I'm invisible.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Where your energy is surrounding us throughout. Pretty. So let's chat more about these books and chat more about how you kind of came to wanting to, make a difference in children's lives and into others' lives. Because obviously you thought that there must be a need. Where did it start? With your kids, with your grandkids? Who was it that was like, or for you, what kind of changed you to get a little bit more than just going to the doctor and say, or the pediatrician? What was
Yeah. Well, right. So I graduated from Harvard. I went on to medical school. I was studying to be a psychiatrist.
I apologize. I didn't read your bio. I read your bio, but I'm saying I didn't read your bio out to everyone. I was going to have them in the show notes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So after Harvard, I went on to, even though as an undergraduate, I was taking courses at the Graduate School of Public Health and Harvard Medical School. I have always been fascinated by public health. But there was another part of me that wasn't being nourished. And I didn't know what was missing from my life because I was not aware. I didn't have a spiritual background. And so that's what I am trying to give to children now. I'm writing the books that I wished I had as a child. And basically, I'm explaining to children that they're spiritual beings from the very beginning, and that they also how important it is to take care of our public, to take care of our health. That's like essential also for our souls to be able to shine. We need healthy bodies and healthy souls. We need both. So that's
a highly educated woman. You see past. You were so highly educated, right? And you've learned so much, but what you've also learned is just making a difference and trying to change people's lives. And that is pretty profound. I think people need to hear that from, where did you practice medicine too?
No, I never ended up finishing medical school. After my first year of medical school, I went on a trip. I had 6-week break between my first and second year of medical school. I went to Israel. I ended up actually learning about my roots. And I lived there for 10 years. I came back and, I basically decided I was either going to go back to school or find an interesting job, whichever happened first. And I did. I found an interesting position, so I never ended up continuing. But I directed a Big Brother, Big Sister program for almost 20 years. And
beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I did. And
it's so important. I've worked a lot in inner city work with health.
Yes.
And a lot of the individuals that you see and that you help, I mean, you can teach them about the healthcare, but they really are looking for guidance because maybe they're not getting it from their family. Not that their family doesn't want to, but they may be working or they're tired or they're, overwhelmed or they're not around.
Exactly. So true.
Yeah.
So everybody, what we would tell the volunteers is don't focus on the problems. Focus on the child's strengths and build their strengths. That's what we do.
That's so beautiful. Yeah. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have good mentorship. I wasn't adopted until I was almost 5.
Wow.
If I didn't have good guidance and mentorship, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I was told that I wasn't going to go to college.
Wow, you are awesome. I love hearing this. Beautiful.
So, I get where you're saying. And I think that people need to understand that the foundations are so important and that I can't wait to read a few of your books because like I said, I wanted to just have one little small one children's series for my son. And just, I was thinking about it. That's so good to know that you've been, was it difficult when you were initially trying to get your children's books out?
The first one happened very easily. I was sitting outside there. I was in Israel. I was sitting there. My children were playing in the playground. and I just took a notebook with me. I wrote this story on loose leaf paper. I put it in an envelope. I mailed it to America. And 6 weeks later, I got back a response that the book was accepted. And I was like, whoa, I guess this is how you write children's books, So I just kept going. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
Cool. So how are you, like, when it came to, like, obviously your knowledge base, but for you inside, obviously want to helping your children, but what additionally was it that was kind of like the, I guess, integrative way of thinking, or just not just your traditional thought process?
Well, okay, I'm not sure if this is what you're asking, but I suffered from food addictions, like eating disordered behavior when I was in college. And it actually got the worst it ever was my first year of medical school. So
high stress.
Yeah, but I don't know. What I consider it is so much has to do with control.
Yeah.
A lot about eating disordered behavior. I felt like life was out of control. Mm-hmm. I felt like I didn't know what the purpose of life was. I didn't know what my purpose, even though I was heading in it seemed like a successful direction, I didn't feel that way inside. I was actually at Harvard, I was writing about the subject, becoming an expert in it and getting sicker and sicker because an intellectual understanding is not enough. So what my thesis really is, and that's what I'm sharing, is that there's a spiritual basis to addictions. And unless we fill that hole with mindful gratitude, the pit just keeps getting deeper and deeper. The void does not get filled. And it's essential to bring joy into our life. Mindful gratitude is the key.
I love it. Yeah. I could not agree more. I mean, as I say, the strength within, I mindfully talk about it on a regular basis because it's super important. I wouldn't be where I'm at, or I just think those little steps that we have, but it is the hardest to look within,
But it's a joy. I mean, it's a joy.
I'm saying for most individuals initially, but once they get there and they start,
It's actually, it's an experience of self-compassion. The more we linger in the good feelings, the more we mindfully experience just an orange or our breathing or the parts of our body that are healthy. It's such an opportunity to, and many times, give ourselves the self-compassion that a person never got as a child. Here we have this opportunity to fill our lives with loving kindness by accepting all these joyful experiences. And when we feel the gratitude, that's when we really savor. That's how we get to savor these experiences. Yeah.
Very well said. Do you have, of all your books, do you have a favorite? Is it The Invisible Book, or is that one of your favorites, or do you?
I got to say, the abuse books have saved lives, like so many lives. They're in more than 100,000 homes. I mean,
that's very difficult to talk about.
Yeah, and it's. I hear from people quite often, thank you for saving my child's life. And I really hope that the Let's Stay Healthy book, this newest book, is going to make major changes too in teaching children why is it so valuable to eat healthy? Why do we need to move? Why do we need sleep? Teenagers, even, they read the book. That's the thing with picture books. It can reach every single age because the children read it. Teenagers see it laying around. The parents are reading it to the children. Grandparents are reading it to the children. So it can reach everybody. That's a secret that people don't realize about picture books. It's a book that anybody can read. So if you want to reach people, that's what I feel is the most important way to do it. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Some people, because then there's also different type of learners. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would you like to share how those can reach you, or would you just like to share another mindful tip before you go?
Oh, sure. Well, okay. the best way is through my website, getsbookshop.com. Gets is GOETZ, getsbookshop.com. You could find me, presentations and my books, everything, if you want to meet them there. I'll share something. I love this quote. Enjoy the little things in life, because one day you'll look back and realize those were the big things. That's it. Just enjoy the little things. Practice enjoying your breath, an orange, a tree. It's not that little. But it's so wonderful. Really, it's endlessly wonderful.
Time with your family, like
yes,
joyful laughter, like
yes,
just the little parts that we don't take advantage of or appreciate.
Yes, these are the really big things in life. This is really what we're here for. We're here to enjoy and just express gratitude. Gratitude fills us. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Do you have anything additionally you'd like to add? You probably have a wealth of knowledge. So, I mean, if you would like any more before I let you go.
Sure. Like even, I think Jeff Bezos, the head of Amazon, I get a kick out of it that he said this, he said it in other words. Everything I've ever done has started small. So when you think of Amazon, you think of big. But everything he's ever done has started small. It's the same with us. We just need to start small, adding little pieces of enjoyment into our lives, savoring more, lingering more, letting that gratitude soak it in. And that is the fuel that our souls need to shine. That's us. That's what we're here for. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate your time. And
thank you.
Thank you, those that are listening and watching. Please go to Get's Bookstore, get one of her wonderful children's books, because I bet you one can help you or someone in your friend or family. And I'll have all her information in the show notes. So thank you guys for joining in on Mindfully Integrative Show. And as I say, make sure you can find a mindful way each and every day. Have a wonderful day or night, whatever it is for you.
Thank you for listening to the Mindfully Integrative Show with Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, family nurse practitioner. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not the substitute for professional medical advice, diagnose, or treat. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your healthcare routine. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you enjoyed our show, please support us by leaving a mindful review on Apple Podcast or your favorite streaming platform. Interested in being a guest or more information? Email us at info@mindfullyintegrative.com. For resources mentioned in the show, visit our website at www.mindfullyintegrative.com. You can also connect mindfully with Dr. Damaris on her social media links found on the site. May your strength and peace guide you to find a mindful way every day. Namaste.